Let's start off with my favorite quarterback, Russell Wilson. The last time we saw him was actually playing some damn good football against the Kansas City Chiefs. His best game of the season.
He
gets
was
concussed.
competent. He was competent.
He was all right.
He was all right. He was, no Detective Drake London.
Yeah, no Detective Drizzy London.
No, look, I think one of the positives are he started running again. 57 rushing yards last time we saw him, and now he plays Kansas City again in Week 17. You're like, well, Barry, it's Week 16. What are you doing to me? Sometimes you got to look ahead, right? Not everyone's lost Jalen Hurts, and so you're just looking ahead. He plays Kansas City again in Week 17, which again gives the fourth most fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks there. And there's a chance maybe that it's unlikely that they rest their starters in Week 17, but there's a chance if everything plays out a certain way. But either way, I think Russell Wilson's kind of interesting to grab for 2 weeks from now.
Yep.
Even if you're keeping away from somebody else. Brock Purdy now has multiple touchdown passes in 3 straight games. He gets my Commanders at home.
Toughest defense yet for him.
Toughest defense yet for him. And then there's Gardner Minshew mania as well. So he's had 2 career starts with Philadelphia, averaging 16.6 points per game, including Week 18 in 2021 against these same Dallas Cowboys, where he threw for 186 yards and 2 touchdowns. Worth noting in that game, mostly backups for Cowboys in that game. They were resting a lot of starters, but still, he had success against Dallas. It is a fantasy-friendly offense with a lot of skill players around him. 2 quick things to note as well. Got an alert on the Fantasy Life app. Kenny Pickett expected to be cleared and come back and start for the Steelers this week. They're home to Las Vegas. Vegas 21st against the pass over the last month. And, I would not be surprised if Malik Willis gets the start this week against Houston. We'll see how that plays out. But Tannehill got really banged up in that game. He got injured. Willis came in. He came back. Didn't look super effective. So interesting to see about Tannehill.
Either way, though, you don't really want any part of the Tennessee quarterback, I think, just because it's Derrick Henry against Houston, and Derrick Henry goes for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns every time he plays the Texans' run defense.
Probably very quickly, because we're running out of time. If you need a tight end, in order, Chig Okonkwo. You know what I mean?
We're going to hit the tight ends after the break.
We are?
Yeah, we're going to have a whole thing on tight ends.
We got a whole tight ends?
We're going to get Chiggy for a couple of minutes.
Seconds. I thought we were done with the dumb show.
No, the dumb show continues. We're going to go to break, and when we get back, Chig Okonkwo.
Okay. I'm going to get Chiggy with it.
Try as you might, Matthew Berry, you cannot get rid of this segment. You cannot get rid of waiver wire tight ends. Let's start with your man. You kind of staked your name to him, Chig Okonkwo.
I was texting Denny Carter saying, well, you want to take this last segment? He was just like, no, you're on your own. I'm sweater shopping. All right, yes. We've been talking about him for a number of weeks. No one listens to us because he's still available in about 71% of leagues. But Chig Okonkwo is getting a lot of looks. 4 straight games with 5 or more targets. He's the 4th best tight end in fantasy over that time period on a points per game basis. Now, again, if Malik Willis starts versus Tannehill, you'd feel a little bit worse about that. But again, with Treylon Burks continuing to be out and Okonkwo earning more and more snaps and targets in this offense, given the dearth of the position, I do think he's a viable guy against Houston this week. Juwan Johnson, find somebody who looks at you the way Andy Dalton looks at Juwan Johnson. Touchdown machine. On a points per game basis, he's a top 11 tight end. He's scored in 5 of the last 7. And then how about Noah Fant?
How about him?
Yeah, well, he's playing Kansas City this week again. No Tyler Lockett for that Seahawks passing attack. And there's a little bit too much Will Dissly for my liking in terms of Noah Fant. But if you're down this far, it's worth noting he scored in 2 of the last 3. He's had at least 3 receptions in 5 of the past 6. And there's now a 23.5% target share available with Tyler Lockett's injury. Some of that will go to Goodwin, but some will go to Noah Fant. It's closing time, which means you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. For Jay Croucher, I'm Matthew Berry. Get better, Jalen Hurts. Get better soon. Peace out. Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBC Sports and Rotoworld.com. Just want to thank you so much for watching what you just watched, or at least being too lazy to click out of it after the autoplay just kept it going. So either way, thank you so much for just letting it scroll by your screen. And now I'd like to ask you respectfully, please subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel for the latest NFL news, fantasy headlines from Rotoworld, and betting analysis from NBC Sports Edge.